For this demonstration, I'm just going to give you a little skill builder and how to use Inventor 2014. So once you get to this stage here where you've crossed off the welcome screen, go up to new, make sure you're on metric and standard parts. We're going to create 3 standard parts and then put them together, assemble them. Then you want to create a new sketch. Select this base plane here and that will get us onto the X, Y coordinates, making it easier to understand later on. For the first sketch, all I'm going to do is draw a rectangle, and I'm going to make the rectangle 40 by 50 millimeters in size. I can use the middle button or the wheel button on my mouse just to zoom in and out. Quickly finish the sketch and extrude that. I'm going to extrude that 10 millimeters is okay. Obviously the sizes don't really matter just now. It's not that important. The next thing I want to do is put a hole in here. So I'm just going to create a new sketch, select this top face and draw the circle. Now if I zoom in on here, you can see that the cursor changes to the green, and the green means it's locked into the middle point. And if I bring this down, I get 2 green arrows. I'll just zoom in on there. You can see that there. I'm going to make that 3 millimeters in diameter. Finish that sketch, and then all this time I want to do is make a hole in there. So I select the circle. This time, instead of joining, I'm going to cut 10 millimeters, and then I've got a hole through that block. Nice and easy. So that's one part done. So I just quickly save this. Click on save at the top there. Test piece 1, for example, and then minimize that. I want to create a new part. Again, metric, standard millimeter, and create. This time I'm just going to make exactly the same thing. Just going to make a little rod to go through there. Now I know the hole was 3 millimeters, so I'm just going to make this 3 millimeters as well. Finish that. So all I have is a circle, and we'll extrude this circle. This time we'll make it 20 millimeters long. So I've got 2 parts. Save this one this time. Call this test piece 2. And then minimize that. And then we'll do another one. Again, metric, standard, create. This time, create a new sketch on here. And we'll make another 3 millimeter circle. And then I'll put another, let's say, 15 millimeter circle around that. Finish that, and this can be my my gear or my pulley. So that's 3 millimeters in thickness. We can mess around by the colours and change the colours by changing them up here, changing the materials, or changing the colours up here as well. If you wanted to make this gold, for example. So now we've got 3 parts down here. Oh, sorry. Got 3 parts. Three test pieces. I want to assemble them. So this time we go into new. I'm still in metric, but this time we want standard assembly. Notice how the visual icon has changed from a single block to this 3 blocks. And when that opens up, this name changes. We're now in assembly mode, and I want to place my 3 pieces. Now I've called them test piece 1, 2 and 3. You can highlight them by pressing Control and place them in there. Just press Escape and get rid of them. Now I need to assemble these parts together. They are all free floating in midair just now. So constrain. In constrain, as I've mentioned before in other tutorials, constrain is like you're fixing or gluing the parts together. You're telling the computer how they go together. So this time I want to pick up this center line for this bar here, or this axle, and I want to place it through the center of this part here. What I can also do is I can maybe spin it round, and I can make this time flush the top face with this top face of here. So now this rod, it can't move, it's fixed in the center and it's fixed flush with the back of our block. Can now pick up the gear or the pulley and do exactly the same. Center line, notice the center line is this long short line, this chain line, and apply that. And this time if I want to mate it, this inside face to this face here, but I probably want to give an offset so it doesn't actually rub totally against it. So I give it an offset of 1mm, and then what I've done is I've added those together, but I've given it a bit of an offset.